sense. We're live. Do I need to wait for anything other than it's just saying that we're live?
I just needed the in notification, which I got. So
I think our camera is smudged.
oops. No, it's just angled up too high. It's getting glare from the light.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's also off to the side.
Well,
That's fine.
let's send me over this tonight. We'll mess with that later. Okay. 1, 2, 3, clap. Quack, quack. Okay, good quacking, David. Okay, tonight we're going to be discussing. Oh, I need to switch this. Pull up Control Alt Shift 2.
Yep. Control Shift 2.
Sure that that's not it.
You have to go on YouTube. It doesn't always update the thumbnail.
There it goes.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep. Now we're good. Okay. So we didn't discuss this last night, right? We just watched our video and called it a day. Okay. When I keep the commandments, God will help me face challenges. So in chapters 16 through 18, describes several challenges that Nephi's family face, including dealing with a broken bow. Spoiler alert, we haven't gotten this far. The death of Ishmael, building a ship, and family discord. Do you know what family discord is?
I think that means like the argument between the family and like going like separate ways.
Not necessarily going separate ways, but kind of bickering and arguing with each other,
Like what to do.
contention within the family.
Yep.
And they said they had they had a compass, which it would only do the right way if they had faith.
Yep.
So
Okay, so this is what we're going to discuss. And we'll discuss specifically what we watched in the video last night, which was just Nephi's bow breaking and getting food and all of that, right? So how did Nephi's responses to these challenges differ from the responses of some of his family members? And what were the consequences of those responses? So when Nephi's bow broke, how did Laman react?
it was like, what? Like, no, we're almost going down to shoot it.
Stupid brother, I can't even believe that you broke your bow and now this is the worst.
But
We're gonna die because of you.
What about, I don't know, who else's response can you remember?
Lemuel's was similar.
It was similar.
Lehi
Oh, it's Lehi's. Now, Lehi, I mean, he was the prophet, right? So he would have had a good reaction. He would have known the right way to react, right? How did he react?
He reacted by asking himself why the Lord had brought a curse upon them. But
Yeah, he's been like, well, I guess the Lord's abandoned us.
But that's not true. He never abandons you.
Well, when was that Nephi's response?
Nope.
Was it Nephi's response that the Lord wouldn't abandon him?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was. And what did Nephi do?
he went and made a new book.
He went and he was proactive. Do you know what it means to be proactive?
To actually do something.
It means that when something goes wrong, instead of like waiting for the next thing to happen, for a solution to come along, you go out and you say, I'm going to do something. Right? And he didn't know what he was going to do. Right? His bow was broken. That kind of was a pretty big deal, right? That his bow was broken. That was how they were supposed to get food, and now they didn't have bows. They couldn't go get food.
But
he went out and said, you know what, I could just sit around and mope, which is what everyone else did, right? Everyone else was sitting back at the camp like, we're all gonna die, we have no food. And Nephi went out and
made another bow.
He went out and made another bow. And do you think that his new bow was as good as his old bow?
Probably not.
Probably not. It probably, his old one was made out of metal and it was really tough. And this new one he made out of a piece of wood that he found. He made
What's
the rope
still,
himself.
Whatever he had available.
Wood's still pretty strong.
Yeah, but it was a lot better than no bow, right? Which is what everyone else ended up doing, right? They just sat there and said, well, that's it. Our bows are broken. Guess we'll die now.
They'll never die.
That wasn't a very good.
And they'll probably die eventually, but like not then.
Not right then.
Just like if you're born and then you immediately die.
Yeah, not like that. So, one of the things that's really interesting about Nephi's response is that even though, remember we said that even Lehi kind of was like, he was despairing and
But
lacked faith a little bit.
Didn't everybody have a bow?
Yep, but they said their bows had lost their springs. They wouldn't shoot very well anymore.
Why?
I don't know. They'd used them too much probably. Most likely. I wasn't there. I can only tell you what it says in the scriptures. But
Yes,
Um,
and you can tell from the show.
But so one of the things that's interesting is that Lehi had kind of, he was despairing. He wasn't being the most faithful at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what did Nephi do before he went out to go get food?
He waited before.
Before he went to go get the food, he made the bow, and then what did he do?
He went to Lehi and asked him for the compass to like find the way to go get food.
Yeah, he said, you know what? Even though my dad isn't necessarily doing all the right things right now, he still has the stewardship of our family, and I'm going to go back to him. I'm going to ask him for help, and have him ask the Lord. And that showed really good respect on Nephi's part, that he wouldn't just be like, well, I'm the only one who's doing good things, so I'm just going to go do the good things by myself.
No, that would be good.
He still looked to get the support of his family members. And what was the consequence of those different responses? What would have happened if they'd all just reacted like Laman?
Then they would probably die.
They probably would have died. That would have been the worst. That would have been the end. But what happened because Nephi was faithful?
They got food.
They got food.
Survived.
And they survived. They were able to move on. And, they became great nations. And lots of, good things happened because from that one choice to say, you know what? This is hard. This isn't the best. This isn't what I would hope for, but I'm going to find a way to work with the situation I've been given. Okay.
So let it be written.
So let it be done.
Thump, thump, thump.
Dun, 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 dun.
Thump, thump, thump.
Let's let them.
I have to wait.
Quick. Did you switch it before you went to this?
Yeah.
Okay. You can end it.
Let's switch down here.
Okay. You
It's
can
not
end
your
it.
end stream.
You're good.
But
You're good. Yeah, that one's lagged.